What's happening, arcaders? Danny here. Or actually, to all arcaders and pop culture enthusiasts, welcome. Hi, Danny here. And no, as you well, actually, as you might have seen on my post, yep, it is exactly what you're expecting. It is, in fact, a live reading of none other than Josh, the Uber Nerd 527's own epic series, The Blue Flame Legends. So, without further ado, but to give you this, but before I do that, what exactly am I talking about? Well, basically, the what you're looking at is essentially none other than these indie comics that Josh had done some time back. Um, these were actually supposed to be. This is actually part one and part two of a three-part story or rather, introductory story that kind of introduces us to these characters and what they're all about. So, but since there wasn't really a category that I could find on Twitch that actually matched what I was looking for, I decided to go ahead and put it under just chatting, which really makes sense, all things considered. So that's pretty much what we're going to be doing. But before that, I hope that everybody has been having a good time so far, or rather, I hope everyone's had a good week today. Or oh my gosh, I'm getting my words twisted. So I hope that everyone has been having a good week, and to add to that, just a good weekend. So I know I have. I finally was able to do a live stream of this week of me basically playing Super Burger Time. Yeah, Super Burger Time, and so I had a lot of fun with that. And I've also been reading Volume 5 of the Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus. So that one's pretty cool. And again, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend people get it because it is definitely worth. It's definitely worth the Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus books are really worth getting because of just the quality, and it's definitely something that has been lacking in the Amazing Spider-Man books as of late. Well, actually, you know what? Looking at the lighting, let me see here. Hold on a moment, because I'm not really. Because again, as you probably can tell, I am streaming live from my room, specifically on my MacBook. So it is gonna be. It is definitely something new for me. Granted, not in the sense of me streaming live from my MacBook, as I've done it before, but not in the sense of not in the sense of doing anything streaming anything that didn't involve my games. So so again, I do hope that again, like I said before, I do hope that everybody's been having a great week, and of course to add to that, weekend. So, but yeah, but essentially, like I said before, what this stream is going to be about is that it's going to involve basically a live reading of these two Blue Flame Legends books, which have been written and drawn and created by none other than Ubernerd 527. So again, I'm really looking forward to being able to read it with you guys. I did originally try to use a different webcam instead of using the one on my MacBook, but for some strange reason, and I don't know, this seems to be typical sometimes. I don't know, it's like sometimes the connection tends to go through because I did buy a portable webcam, and for some reason, I don't know, it's like sometimes it works and other times it just flat out doesn't. And I don't really know why. So again, but hopefully on the next stream that doesn't involve video games, I'll hopefully have that a little bit more down pat. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and let's get started. Now another reason for why I'm also doing this is because UberNerd527 has also gotten back into the groove of doing part 3 of his amazing epic. So just to kind of help draw up some interest and also to help give people some context of what he's doing, I figured, why not use my Twitch platform, for something, something besides games. It is something that I've also been contemplating doing, not just in terms of games, but also just in general. So I might also do a live stream of me or more like a watch party of me watching a movie or so. But again, that'll be for a future stream. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and let's get started. Now, for anybody out there who may stumble upon this later on, basically this is going to be going live on my YouTube page. So you can pretty much catch it there. And for anybody who does in fact have a copy of these, you can pretty much bring them out and read along. So I mean, just and of course, and if you don't know what in the world this is, don't worry about it. You know, it's just a little fun thing that I just wanted to do, and also to try and help my pal to help drum up some more interest for the books, because people have bought the first two issues, but not everybody not everyone is aware of it. So let's see if we can try and try and light a fire, if you will, with this story. So let's go ahead and let's get started with none other than Blue Flame Legends issue number 1. So yeah, so indie made. So yeah, this does not have DC or Marvel's. This is an independently made comic, and come to think of it, more again, hashtag support indie comics, because these days they tend to be more. They're a lot more creative now than what DC and Marvel have been doing. So, Blue Flame Legends issue number 1. Created and written by Joshua Jordan, aka UberNerd527. Episode 1, Spark of a Legend. Story, characters, art, and colors by Joshua Jordan. Edited by Diana Elaine Fadal and Danny Pache. Introduction. Like fire, an idea always starts with a spark. Once that spark catches, it starts to grow and grow until it consumes everything. Likewise, a good idea will grow and grow until it consumes every thought you have. I know this from experience because what you're about to read is one of those ideas. I have created many ideas previous to this one, but this one seemed more personal and the one that consumed my every thought. Since I was a child, I always loved to draw, and I would draw everything I looked at, from cartoons to shows, with my parents' encouragement. In the process, I learned to create as well as draw. I created, and what I discovered was that it was a lot more enjoyable to create something than just copying someone else's work. You don't just draw a character. You come up with the character's personality, their style of clothing, their powers if they have any, and whether or not they like cake, etc. Or ice cream. If I can give you one piece of advice and encouragement to you, reader, it's this: create something. If there isn't a video game you enjoy, create it. If there isn't a comic book character you like to read about anymore, create it. If there isn't a show that you'd like to watch anymore, create it. I don't know how to do it is no longer a valid excuse anymore. We live in an era now where you can learn to create anything you want. So don't just sit there on the sidelines of life. Create something. Before you go out and create something, though, I want to first thank you for purchasing this comic. I hope that you enjoy my characters and the first part of the origin story. If you like it, please share it with your friends, because I want to keep telling stories in this world, but I can only do that with your help. Thanks again, Joshua Jordan. This book is also dedicated to the memory of Kevin Jordan, my father. Both Dad and Mom encouraged me from a young age to create, and without whom this story would have never become what it has. Psalms 139. The quality of light isn't determined by the depth of darkness, but by the source of its gleam. Philippians 2:15. Oh, in regards to Psalms, that's a little footnote. Obviously, again, Psalms 139 does not say that, but again, little reference there. So please don't come after me. But the latter part of what I just said, though, the Philippians line, that is directly from the book, or rather, the book. So, all right. So on to the next one. There is a world that is filled with things that you only thought were in your imagination. Oh, wait. Again, if I had multiple cameras to show you, I would. Oh my gosh, I am so terribly sorry, folks. Again, hopefully on the next stream it'll be a lot better than this. Or maybe, okay, maybe this will help. Again, like I said, this is very impromptu, or rather, not impromptu, but again, it's going to be a little weird. But you know what? Hey, makes it easy to distinguish myself. And hopefully, next time, I'll make sure to use an actual webcam instead of the one built on my MacBook. So here we go. There is a world that is filled with things you only thought were in your imagination. But just like with any other world, it is plagued by darkness. To protect this world from the darkness, there is an organization known as the Guild. The Guild members take an oath of selflessness and dedicate themselves to helping the world, or to helping the weak and fighting the wicked. The Guild is made up of two branches. First, the Knights, people mainly without powers, who learn to fight with either hand-to-hand or weapons combat. The second branch is for people who are born with special powers. They are known as luminaries, people with the power to control and manipulate forms of energy. Since its formation, the Guild has produced many stories inspiring people, and no person has been more inspired than a girl named Ileana. I think maybe on second thoughts, I probably should have bought like 2 copies. So who is Liliana? Anyway, well, let's see what it says. In the Alayam Providence on the west end, there is the Autumn Mountains, the forests of Evermore Fall, the town of Autumn, and the Orange River. And it just so happens that Liliana lives in a small village called Autumn, located to the southwest, where she is known throughout as, well, how do we put this delicately? A natural disaster. Oh, no. Huh? What? What happened here? It was you! You're the monster that did this! How could you have done this to my wonderful stand? I just fixed it up. Well, you see, I decided to use my powers to light the candles for you. I guess I might have lost control again because the fire was a whole lot bigger than I anticipated, and well... Again? If you knew you were going to lose control, then why did you even try it? Well, if your grandfather wasn't so good at fixing things, just get out of my sight. Freak. So right away you can tell that Ileana does not really fit in at all. Not for one little bit. So later that evening at the Kindle farm. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there's got to be a better way to do this. Huh? My, it must be that little puppy dog that keeps coming over here to eat our table scraps, whining again. So, what happened? Well, you see, the candle maker didn't have his... And yeah, pretty much Liliana is trying to essentially explain things in a very, very fast way. And as you can see, it's not going very well for her at all. Not one little bit. And actually, come to think of it, let me see if I can try and adjust the lighting just a little bit. Maybe move locations maybe a little bit right here. And since it's still light out, well, as of this recording anyway, maybe there might be a way to kind of fix that. Let's see here. Yeah, that's definitely not going to work. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Again, I'll find a different webcam for sure. So, Okay. All right. All right. And I wonder if any other YouTubers have had this kind of issue before. Or rather, have they ever had to carry their MacBook while they're basically doing like a live reading of something? All right, so since that's not going to work, we're going to go ahead and just do it the old-fashioned way, sitting down. So yeah, so basically to make a long story short, Ileana tries to explain things, and it's pretty much coming out at 110 miles an hour. And yeah, needless to say, her grandfather's just exasperated. Obviously, this is not the first time something like this has happened. So, yeah. How many times have I told you that you need to learn control? Yeah, but don't yeah but me, young lady. That's why you have the lot in the back for practice. I'm proud you want to help people. However, burning down everything doesn't help anyone, understand? Yes. This is also why I keep telling you that you need to leave this place and head to the Central Kingdom. Ever since you were a little girl, you always wanted to become a hero and join the guild like in the books I would read you every night. But what about you, Grandpa? Aren't you going to be all alone if I live? If I leave? I may be old, but I'm not. But I ain't dead yet. And I have been taking care of this farm by myself long before you came along. But I just don't know where to go or what to expect. How can I go out on my own? Then learn what you need to, then go out there. If you want it badly enough, nothing will stop you. Well, you think on it, okay? I ain't your father, so I ain't gonna kick you out, but make a decision. I believe that the light is shining on you for a reason, and you need to go discover why that is. Just think about it, won't you? I'll get dinner ready. So, basically, you can tell right away that this is not the first time Liliana has pretty much had a blunder with her abilities. Let alone the first time that her grandfather's had to pretty much tell her, "Hey, you got to figure out what you need to do, and then go for it." So yeah, and again, the cool thing too, and again, leave it to John again. Oh, hey, Uber527, it's good to see you, buddy. So yeah, so as you can see, I'm doing a live reading, albeit a very unplugged acoustic version of it. But yeah, so I mean, it's again, it's coming along great, and I'm glad you're liking it, and I hope everybody else out there is too. But again, so after that little pep talk, Liliana pretty much goes out onto the yard in a way not too dissimilar to what a certain farm boy from Tatooine would do. And again, the way Uber Nerd does these panels, again, they don't there's no dialogue needed because it says everything at all. I mean, yeah, if you want to throw in a certain cue from John Williams, you're more than welcome to, because again, I think this panel right here may look a little familiar to you. Or actually, this whole thing. So, but just when she thinks that maybe it's just her and she's pretty much lost in thought, what should she hear but a nice little noise? But I wonder who that could be. A little bit of a rustle, that's for sure. So, but again, Uber527, again, thank you so much. And again, hopefully this will get folks' attention to read the books, or try and track them down. Because again, it's a good introduction. And again, I haven't read this in a while, but getting a chance to read it again, it really just, it puts me right back in that spot again. It really, really does. So she hears a little rustling. She's not sure what it is, and then what should appear but a strange-looking creature. Oh, my stars! Are you okay, Mr. Dog? Grandpa! What? What's all the commotion about? What? Do you think we can help him, Grandpa? To be continued. And of course, what classic comic is complete without a little bonus one? So let's see. Finally, I've been waiting a whole month for this book to come in. I just can't wait to find out what happens next. Especially to Diana and Rex. They're my favorite characters. I hope they got off that cuff. It doesn't matter. I'm just happy it's here. What the? Luckily, Miss Kindle, I was prepared with another copy, but burn another one and you are banned from the library. Okay, yeah. Hopefully Liliana gets that power under control. Yikes. And of course, check it out, folks. The original, that's right, the original concept for these characters. Just like with everything, of course, again, you start with one original idea, but then it just grows into something else. But not too dissimilar from what they would ultimately, what the final designs would be. And of course, next time. And don't worry, I'll take care of this. The Blue Flame Legends. There is a world filled with things you thought were only in your imagination. Liliana, a young girl, dreams of using her powers to help others, but her fear keeps holding her back. That is, until one day, when everything changes. And of course, little plug, Kablam Digital Printing. So again, if you're looking to publish an indie comic, they seem to be the folks to go to. So that is issue number 1. But are we done? I don't think so. Because now we're going on to part 2, the middle. And once again, the second issue, whose cover really, again, needs no setup from me. And again, I couldn't do it justice. But again, once again, Josh's work on this thing is just, it's phenomenal. It really, really is. And of course, for anybody who may have played a certain type of video game, the cover of it may look a little familiar to you. And again, it is by design. Nice little reference. But I wonder who this guy is and what part he has to play. All right, folks, so without further ado, let's try it. Blue Flame Legends issue number 2. Created and written by Joshua Jordan. And meanwhile, the Blue Flame Legends, issue 2, Spark of a Legend. In the last issue, in a world... Oh, no, it's like, okay, here we go. Let's try this. In a world filled with things you thought were only in your imagination, we met a girl named Liliana. She is a special human known as a luminary, a being with the ability to create energy. Her problem is that she is the only one in her small town that has this ability, along with the fact that she is a little clumsy and unable to control her powers and tends to burn everything down. But after her latest accident, her grandfather gave her a lecture with some things to think about. And while she was on a hillside lost in thought, Liliana noticed an injured animal coming out of the bushes, so she brought the animal home to try to help it recover from its wounds. Liliana, our heroine and potential natural disaster. Grandpa Brody. Super buff grandpa trying to help his granddaughter. Again, among other things. I mean, again, and trying to. And again, you got to give him credit. The guy is trying. Emphasis on trying. I mean, again, it's not that Liliana's a bad kid. Far from it. It's just, with her abilities, it can be a little bit of a challenge for sure. And our mysterious new friend. Some type of lizard dog? Let's find out. And so now, a journal. But just what exactly could this journal be? Well, let's find out. Grandpa, what is this? A journal that your great-great-grandfather gave to me when I was your age. The beginning. So let's see here. All right. Long ago, the world was filled with creatures known as dragons. Out of all the animals in this world, they were the most powerful, the most intelligent, and the most fearsome. In the beginning, the dragons were created to help humanity against the darkness. So humanity and dragons lived together and fought beside each other. Now, this is part of the story that gets a little fuzzy. Somewhere along the way, the dragons betrayed humans and joined the darkness. This belief continued on through the generations, and dragons were seen as evil creatures. Dragon hunters came to be, and their job was to wipe out all the dragons in existence. Now, I wrote this journal to be passed down from generation to generation so that future generations won't make the same mistakes that my generation has. To understand what I am talking about, you must first understand who I am. In my younger years, dragons were viewed as evil creatures. So lots of people became dragon hunters to destroy what we all thought was evil. I became one, and not because I was trying to be noble, but because I wanted a thrill. For a while, it was exactly that, but the more I killed, the more I realized what I was doing was wrong. This question haunted me for many years. I started traveling around the known world to find the answers that I sought. During my travels, I wrote a lot of my findings in this journal. It is full of facts about dragons anywhere from knowing how to identify a dragon to how to treat one. I noted how gentle dragons were and how friendly they would be towards humans, until man started to hunt them down. Eventually, I did retire from dragon hunting and tried to get others to realize that it was wrong. So far, only a few people listened, and I fear that if this goes on any longer, then dragons are going to be all but extinct. Wow, definitely a pretty heavy journal for sure. And it looks as if though there were definitely a few that were already identified. Let's see, the Aqua Leviathan. And if you look closely, I mean, again, for those who have their copies, you'll probably recognize some of it real soon. Again, I do apologize for the lack of lighting, but hopefully, let me see. Actually, you know what? Let me see here. I mean, I definitely should have done. I should have prepared for this just a little bit differently. So, but yeah. So basically, the journal has pretty much a few anecdotes, literally in the form of drawings across it. The first one being that of an Aqua Leviathan. The other, a Swamp Ryu? Or Ryu? King and Queen Calicona. A Forest Draken. Emperor Drake. And a Wind Naga. So yeah, again, really good, again, Ubernerd, really good choice of words. I mean, it definitely is like, you really get a sense that this isn't some like, made up, it really feels like a real place. With its own unique set of rules and its own unique set of creatures. And also, before I forget, to everybody, if you look at this page right here, it's actually in the beginning. And a little idea that Ubernerd had, and I quote, "I drew the stained glass mural that I found at the Orange City Lighthouse in the Acleum Providence. It depicts the beginning of the time when humans and dragons lived and fought together." Oh wait, no, sorry. Yeah. Oh, advertisements, and not from this book, but rather on the chat. Okay. Well, anyway, moving right along. Okay, so basically, that was essentially the journal, or at least the first part of it anyway. So, and as Ileana says, wow, that's amazing. Oh yes, I loved it when your great-great-grandfather would read out of the journal to me when I was young. And he would tell me all about your ancestor, the author of the journal. During his younger years, he was considered to be one of the best dragon hunters around. But as time went on, he started to question. Was he doing right by killing all those dragons? Eventually, he gave up dragon hunting and decided to go on a journey to find the answers. And during his journey, he compiled information and wrote the journal. His views on dragons weren't very popular, but it never stopped him. Of course, his views would get him kicked out of many villages, but this didn't deter him from his mission, and he continued even to his last breath. And that's how this journal came to be. Which is why I was surprised to see this dragon here. It makes me rethink every book I've ever read that said dragons were evil. The evidence is right in front of you, lily pad. If that one was evil, it would not let you pet it, and it would have bitten your arm off immediately. You're right, you're a good dragon. And of course, again, it's one of those things where, again, there's got to be a better way to... I'll try to angle this thing a lot better next time. And hopefully the other webcam is actually, I'm able to get it to work properly. But yeah, it's again the way Ubernerd just composes the panels. It's really, really, really good. But it does make me want, and of course, while they're talking, of course, Liliana's grandfather is kind of wondering where exactly did he come from. Fortunately, as Liliana points out, well, I guess he belongs to someone. He has a collar on him with the name Garwin. Hmm, strange. I've never heard of a person having a dragon as a pet before, but I guess it's possible. Now, your owner must be worried about you, Garvin. Once it gets better, I'll have to take you to town to see if your owner is there. That's a good idea, but promise me something, Ileana. Okay, what? Don't mention he's a dragon, because dragons are seen as evil? Right. Most people will be scared, but there can be a few that will want to kill him. Remember, dragons haven't been seen in a long time, so most people have never seen them or just think they're a myth. Will that be enough, though? Well, he either looks like a dog or some breed of chimera, so hopefully most people will think that. Also, don't worry. Dragons have a very quick healing ability. He'll be better by morning. Dragons eat earth and rocks, so I'll go out to the barn and get some for him to eat. Now, you need to head to bed. You've got a long day ahead of you tomorrow. Just promise me that you won't get into any more trouble. Yes, sir. Well, obviously, the night goes by very... Obviously, things go well because pretty much the next day, Liliana's chipper, and, everything goes hunky-dory and nothing's burnt down. So that's obviously a good sign. So, the very next day, Liliana and Garwin are pretty much walking along town and hoping to find his owner. So this is the town square where every day the town is a farmer's market. The farmers from all around come and sell everything from food to clothes. It's a really fun place to walk around. However, it can get lonely walking around here by yourself all the time. And so basically, Garwin pretty much sniffs the air and kind of flicks his tongue out. Now, it's not just a habit. There's actually a reason for why he does that. And if you want to find out more, just keep reading. There's actually more to the character than just simple habits. There's always a reason to everything he does. Hey, what's going on, Garwin? You smell something? Yeah, he does. Wait, Garwin, come back! And of course, he pretty much tests the air, takes a look at it some more, and boom! Almost takes off faster than Roadrunner. Why are you running so fast? Huh? And who should Garwin run into and jump into but some strange-looking guy in a hood? Oh, my stars, Garwin, no! Oh no, what am I going to do? Ouch, it's okay. Ouch, you just missed me a lot. Ouch. Is that right, your old scale face? Oh. Anyways, let me introduce myself. My name is... Okay. Try to aim it at the right angle. Okay, so here we go. All right. So, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are introduced to our second protagonist, or should I say third if you include Garwin. But like he says... Hey guys, anyways, let me introduce myself. My name is Willem Quinn, and I am going to be... this kingdom's greatest knight. Ta-da! Oh boy. So, who are you? And of course, needless to say, Liliana is pretty much flabbergasted. It's kind of like, you could say she's pretty much caught off guard in more ways than one. Like, what? Fortunately, though, it's not in a fangirl way. So that's the good news. So, but she's just like, okay, because basically she's just completely confused and just like, well, Liliana. Okay, that was odd, but Liliana, huh? Anyway, thanks for finding Garwin. And it looks like you took good care of him too. Willem Quinn, we found you. We've been looking all over for you, and now we found you. Oh look, it's the bumbling bounty hunters. So, come to fail again at catching me? Oh, we're not bumbling. Never call us that. Yeah, that's not nice. And then what follows after is basically, again, you have to look at it to really, you have to look at it to believe it. Because, my gosh, it is just too hilarious. I mean, again, cue the cartoon sounds. Again, I'm doing it badly, but again, it needs no setup from me. It really doesn't. Yeah. And meanwhile, yeah. And meanwhile, Liliana and Willem are just looking at them, going, "Okay, that that doesn't prove nothing. Who are these guys? Oh, the Boundling Bounty Hunters here. The skinny one, oh, the Bumbling Bounty Hunters here? Yeah, the skinny one is Nell, and the big guy is Bob. They are the bounty hunters. Fortunately for me, they aren't very good at what they do. The closest they have come to catching me was last night. Well, them and a bunch of their buddies attacked us, and during the battle, I lost Garwin off a cliff, and I spent the rest of the night trying to find him. Anyways, he's not going to back down, so keep watching. It's going to be entertaining. And of course, as you can imagine, yeah. Neil pretty much draws his sword, but, you know, essentially, as you can imagine, Willem is just not impressed at all. He just isn't. He's just like, ah! Yeah, just... I am so gonna get you this time! And of course, Willem just basically just gives him the raspberry. Because why not? Ah! And swing bada! Still can't get nothing. Nothing but air. You're so infuriating! And blocked. Block with the van brace. And block again with the van brace. But yeah, so Willem's he's pretty confident. Fortunately, though, he's not, he's confident without being cocky, which is a very, very, interesting thing. Because, again, usually when it comes to most of these characters, you look at him and you go, oh, no, this guy's cocky. I mean, again, Willem here, as you can see very quickly, he's not cocky at all. Just very, very, very confident. Which, again, it's a tricky thing to do, but again, Ubernerd just pulls it off very, very, very well. So, all right. So one jab, all the way to the nose, but wait. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Except maybe, flick to the nose. Ooh. Ah. So he tries to strike. But as you can tell, Willem is still pretty much able to keep up with him and kind of just be one step ahead, which is a very, very interesting, which is really cool. And then fortunately though, he gets yet another idea. And he says, "Okay, well, I've had it. Guess I'll surrender." "Don't mock me. I'll make you pay." Or so he thinks. Because once again, Willem does this cool little backflip. Jump up, down, and without even needing to, he just basically just lands right on the wagon, causing the side to hit him. Boom! Knockout. And of course, Willem just goes, "Ha, that's it. Told you it would be entertaining." Or so he says. But then, who should show up but Bob? "I'm gonna punish you for what you did. Ack, I knew I forgot something." "Whoa, if I don't stop him, he'll crush me. I got an idea. I bet I know your greatest weakness." "Oh, I have a weakness?" "Yeah. Well, if you hold on for a second, I'll tell you." "Okay, Bob. What's this weak?" "Okay, Bob. Okay, so what's this weakness? You really want to know? It's right here." Uh-oh. Yeah. again, you don't. Again, it's another cool thing too, where it's like you don't see what he did, but you kind of see what he did. It's like just by poor Bob's reaction. Boom. But yeah, one shot in the you know where, and he's down for the count. Aye! Needless to say, this pretty much gives him a nice little ovation. Wow. Thank you, though I am just a humble hero. Arr. And always happy to hear praises from you, buddy. Another end to a great adventure. In fact, this might have been my quickest victory ever. I'll have to check my fight journal. What did you think, Liliana? Liliana, was it? But as you can see, she disappeared. And of course, Willem is like, "What in the world? How did this happen?" Man, I was gonna thank. Man, I was gonna thank her for taking care of you. You know what this means, buddy? Oh, that's right. We're going to have to find her. Besides, what kind of hero would I be if I didn't repay kindness? Plus, how hard could it be to find a girl in a small town like this? Well, here's the thing. Fortunately, it's not so much about trying to find a girl in a small town. It's what else might be coming after you besides those two bounty hunters, as that little teaser on the next page shows. So yeah, so as you can tell, this party ain't over yet. But next time, we got a whole new crew. Yeah, or rather, next time, or rather a whole new threat. Maybe not so much a whole new crew, but just one more bounty hunter that's pretty much on the prowl for Willem. As to who this individual might be, well, I guess we'll find out next time. Or rather, put more specifically, on the next issue. And so, that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes this little live reading of the Blue Flame Legends. You can check out issues 1 and 2. They are available. You only have to look up Ubernerd's 527's Twitter, and I'll definitely try to make sure to put a link on it myself in my stories on my or specifically I'll try to link it on my Twitter page as well, or on my Twitter section. But still, either way, I highly recommend you get these two. They're a perfect way to kickstart what obviously is going to be a pretty awesome adventure. Again, it's very simple. It's a simple, but at the same token, not so simple story. Because again, we're just meeting up our would-be heroes. So again, the party's just getting started, and I know that there's a third part which Ubernerd is working on. But of course, again, it's not done yet. It's just for it is going to take some time. So again, but until then, I do recommend you track down and buy these issues because they are definitely a must-have. They are definitely good to read. And again, everything flows into it very well. And again, the first one was just all about, introducing us to Liliana, our central protagonist. And then, of course, the second one is, as you can tell, an introduction to our second protagonist, Willem Quinn. So he also has an interesting backstory. But again, it's one of those things where, but again, it's going to take time for us to really find out more about what they are. But part 3 is, Ubernerd is currently working on it. But again, it has been a while, so it is going to take some time to do. But again, more information will be revealed as he reveals it. So follow him on Twitter and on Instagram for more information on that. But again, he is working on it, but it is his pet project. It is his baby. So again, he'll have it done when he has it done. But I just wanted to do a little live reading of those two books because again, I like them. They're really, really cool. Way better than even I expected. And again, just really, it's a great introduction to our two characters. And again, they're part of a 3-part story. So for the moment, we do have, or rather, he does have issues 1 and 2 available. So just be sure to check them out. And again, if you have more information, just follow him on Twitter. I mean, again, or X, I guess it's called. I mean, again, I know it's called X now, but for me, I still call it Twitter. So make sure to follow him on there, and just as he's able to put more information, he'll definitely reveal it. But again, it is his book. Part 3 will be done when it's done. But thank you all for coming to see this nice little live reading. Hopefully next time I'll make sure to actually have, the webcam working properly, and if not better lighting, that's for sure. Or at least hopefully next time I'll be able to do it to where I can basically read while the webcam is also looking at the pages as well. So at least that kind of allows allow the audience to kind of see both me as well as especially the book. So again, but thank you all to everybody for coming over to see this live reading of Uber Nerd's epic series. It is again, it's a really fantastic series, and again, it may only be parts 1 and 2 available, but again, I'm already enthralled, and I really want to see where these characters go, and hopefully, and I believe they'll go far. Um, so again, so thank you all to everybody for coming on to see, and again, thank you to Urban Nerd 527 for creating a fantastic series. And again, looking forward to when issue 3 is done, when it's done. So again, to everybody, again, don't just again just wait as long as you can. Again, he'll get it done when it's done because again, it is an indie comic. It's his book. Again, fortunately though, he is not constrained by deadlines. So again, so just keep following him on Twitter. When he's able to have issue 3 done, he'll have it done. But until then, I will see you guys next time on the next stream. And again, the next stream, I will be returning back to gaming, specifically with Pikmin 1. So stay tuned for that on the next stream. So until then, I'll see you guys next time. And of course, keep playing like it's 1981 and keep playing with power because there are no limits. And of course, again, if you have a desire to create something really cool, whether it be a book or a video game, like Uber Nerd said, if you have an idea for something, just go ahead and create it. It's good. It feeds your soul, and it definitely will. It's something that other people will enjoy as well. All right. So again, thank you very much to everybody, and I'll see you next time. Later.